morning. Today we are translating and solving equations. So I don't know if you remember, but at the very start of this giant packet, no, it was actually last packet, the second packet, we were translating statements into math, okay? Using words like product and quotient and subtracted from. So we are going back to that and combining it with our solving equations that we've been doing. So it's really quite great. So we are translating and solving equations. So we're going to be able to write mathematical statements, turn them into equations, and then solve those equations. So what does product mean? Multiplication. So this means times. And it says the product of a number. Do we know what the number is? No, we don't. Since we don't know what the number is, what do you suppose we're going to call it? An x. Yeah, any letter we want. It's the unknown. So that's our variable. So anytime we see a number, we can call it the x. And it says the product of a number and -7 is 63. What does the word is mean? Equals. Very good. So that is the equal sign. So it's kind of nice. There's a lot of keywords we can pay attention to. And so we want the product. Now, when we have a product, we have two things that we're multiplying together. What are the two things that we're going to product? The product of what and what? -7 and x. Yeah, the product of -7 and the x. So we're going to write -7 and the x. So -7 times the x. And then is means equals 63. So here is our very basic equation. -7 times x equals 63. So I'm going to write that over here so we can solve it. I'm going to go ahead and just write -7 times x equals 63. How do we get x by itself? Divide. Yeah, we can divide by -7. Easy. So this is a great sort of review today. 63 divided by -7 is -9. Beautiful. So great sort of review. We're going to sort of go through all of these today and really review how to solve all kinds of equations. All right, 10 is subtracted from. Subtracted from was a very tricky phrase. This one was a turnaround phrase. And so we are going to be subtracting some things, but does the 10 go at the beginning or at the end? Yeah, 10 is subtracted from. So that goes at the end. Subtracted from a number. What are we going to use for a number? X. And then we have is. What is? Equals 15. So 10 subtracted from a number. What should go in front of the subtract 10? X. Yeah. So 10 subtracted from some number x. So x minus 10 is 15. X minus 10 is 15. All right, let's solve. X minus 10 is 15. Ooh, how do we get x by itself? Add 10. Very easy, very easy. All right, so we get x equals 25. 15 plus 10 is 25. Perfect. Okay. You see how this is kind of a nice review? It's pretty good, right? All right. Number 3. 2/5. 2/5. What is 2/5? A fraction, yeah. 2/5 would be 2/5. Of is a key word, actually. Does anyone know what of means? It's multiplication. That's right. 2/5 of a number. Anytime you see that word of, it means multiply. So 2/5 of, what's a number? X. Good. So we want 2/5 times x. What does is mean? Equals, so equals -12. 2/5 times x equals -12. Hello? Oh, she is not in the room. She's already somewhere. Oh, okay. I do. Okay. Okay. Bye. Finley, are you going to an appointment or something? To the office, por favor. See you later. Do you want the homework? You always have work. Thank you. All right. I think you'll be okay. All right, here we go. So we want to solve this. We have 2/5 times x equals -12. How do we get x by itself? Divide by 2/5. Okay, we could absolutely do that if we use our calculator. So if I divide by 2/5, then x is by itself, and in my calculator I can do -12 divided by, how do I put it in the fraction? Alpha F1, very good. So alpha F1, we want that fraction menu, so 2/5. So -12 divided by 2/5, and we get -30. Which, if you remember, we don't like dividing by fractions, so instead we multiply by the reciprocal. So we would multiply by 5/2, and that's how we get that 30. -60 divided by 2 is 30. So just for remembering sake, okay? 8% of a number. Ooh, interesting. 8% of a number. What does of mean? Times. 8% of, and then what are we going to use for a number? X. And then is means equals 20. All right, here's the tricky part. 8% is the tricky part here. We can never solve an equation with that percent symbol. So anytime we have a percent symbol, we actually have to convert it to a decimal. How do we convert 8% into a decimal? Move the decimal 2 places. That's very good. 1, 2 little bunny hops. So we get 0.08. So anytime you have a percent, you do have to change it to a decimal. So we have 0.08 times x equals 20 for our equation. So 0.08 times x equals 20. How do we get x by itself? 0.08, yeah. Divide by 0.08. Use my trusty rusty calculator here. 20 divided by 0.08. I get x equals 250. How are you doing with this? You doing okay? Yeah? Is this easy or is this hard? Pretty easy. Okay, that's good. All right. Let's see. Ooh, the sum of. What does that mean? Plus addition. Very good. And when we're summing things, we have to have the sum of two things, right? So we have to have something plus something. So the sum of, what do we do for twice a number? 2x. Very good. Twice a number would be 2x. So this is the sum of twice a number and 17. So what goes in my blank spaces here that I'm summing up? 2x and 17. Very good. So this would be the sum of twice a number and 17. Very good. And then we have is equals -1. All right. So we have 2x plus 17 equals -1. And we want to draw our wall and solve for x. Isolate the x. What should we do first? -17. Beautiful. So we get 2x equals -18. Beautiful. 2 times x equals -18. How do we get x by itself? Divide by 2. Beautiful. So we get x equals, God bless you, -9. Questions so far? Any questions? Good? Bored to death. All right. All right, less than. 9 less than is another tricky phrase. So these are the ones I'm highlighting. These are the ones that are most missed. Less than is one of those turnaround phrases. What operation are we doing with less than? Minus. Yeah, we're subtracting. But again, we're subtracting from something. And so where does the 9 go? Does it go at the beginning or does it go at the end? It goes at the end. So 9 less than goes at the end because we have to be less than something else. Okay? So it's 9 less than the product. What's the product? Multiplication. The product of a number and -4. What should we write for that? Yeah, -4x. The number is x and -4 times, so -4x. So that's the product of -4 and a number. So -4 times x. All right, is 35, so equals 35. So we have -4 times a number, subtracting the 9 equals 35. I'm going to go ahead and solve for x. What should we do first? Add 9. Good. We have -4x equals 44. Yeah, and then we need to divide by -4. Beautiful. So we get x equals -11. Great. Is this crazy? I'm glad to hear that. All right, 7 more than, what is more than? Plus, the quotient. What's quotient? Yeah, a division problem. So 7 more than the quotient of a number and 3. So what is, how do you want to write this? What are you thinking? 7 plus, we can do that. So the quotient means we've got a division. So what goes on top and what goes on bottom? X goes on top and 3 goes on bottom. Perfect. So the quotient is a division. We're going to use that division bar there. We don't use the division symbol usually. So the quotient of a number and 3, the number goes on top and the 3 goes on bottom, and then equals 11. That's pretty clear. All right, so 7 plus x over 3 equals 11. And we want to solve. Subtract this 7. All right, we get a number divided by 3 equals 4. How do we undo divide by 3? Times by 3 on both sides. Very good. The opposite of divide is multiply. So we're going to multiply both sides by 3. We get x equals 12. Perfect. Is it too easy? I hope so. That's good. That's really good. All right. The difference between half a number, what's the difference? Subtraction. So we're subtracting 2 things. The difference between half a number. What should we do for half a number? 1/2 x. Yeah, half a number would be 1/2 times the number, so 1/2 times x. So the difference between half a number and 11, so I think the 11 goes on the end there, is -25. So equals -25. Do we need to solve this together, or can you do that? Let's solve this one, because this is a little different. We'll do this one. I'll go faster, though, because it seems like -11 equals -25. So 1/2 x minus 11 equals -25. Go ahead and solve. So what are we going to do first? Add 11. Add 11. So I get 1/2 times x equals -14. The negatives win by 14, I believe. Okay, how do we get rid of the half? How do we get x by itself? Divide. We could divide by a half. Could I also multiply by the reciprocal? That's the other way to do that. So we could divide if you wanted to, but I like to multiply by the reciprocal. Flip the fraction, so times by 2 over 1. So we get x equals, and then you can see here it's just negative 14 times 2, which is negative 28. So multiply by the reciprocal is the other way to do that. Too easy. It's good to hear that. Can you work by yourselves? Let's burn through the equations real fast, and then you can do the rest of the solving, I think. Yeah? Does that sound good? Yeah. All right. So a number subtracted from is another turnaround phrase again, subtracted from. It's subtracting, but this is the number, which, what would we call that? X, is subtracted from. So where does the x go? Does it go at the beginning or at the end? At the end. So a number is subtracted from 14. So we're taking it away from the 14, and that equals 2. So again, I just want to make sure that those turnaround phrases you're getting. Questions on that one? I think let's remember that there's a 1 there, invisible 1, so we don't forget. All right. Okay. 3/4 of a number. What should we do for 3/4 of a number? 3/4 x. 3/4 times x. Of means times. So 3/4 times our number x. Decreased by, what's decreased by? Minus, decreased by 19 is negative 1. So 3/4 x minus 19 equals negative 1. Number 11, the sum of, what does sum mean? Add. So we're adding a couple things together. We're adding 2 things together. What are we adding together? The sum of negative 1/3 of a number. What should we write for negative 1/3 of a number? Negative 1/3 x. Very good. Of means multiply. So we have negative 1/3 times our number x. So negative 1/3 times x there. So this is the sum of the pink stuff and 16. So there's my second part. And then is 11 equals 11. So negative 1/3 x plus 16 equals 11. You good so far? All right. Number 12. 60%, 0.6. Very good. So again, with those percentages, you have to move your decimal 2 places to the left. So your rate would be 0.6. And then of means multiply. So times x minus 17 equals negative 65. Beautiful. Good? Good? Yeah? Number 13. The sum means addition, so we have something plus something. The sum of a number and 7, so x plus 7, and if you did 7 plus x, that's also fine. All right. Divided by 3, divided by negative 3 rather. So this is the sum all divided by negative 3. So that whole thing gets divided by negative 3, and then it equals 2. Do you know how to solve this one? Yeah? What should you do first on this one? So this is all divided by 3. How do we get rid of all of it divided by 3? Times by negative 3. Yeah, that's the first step on that one. You could times by negative 3 on both sides to get rid of that negative 3. All right. Number 14 is another one, the quotient. What's a quotient? dividing, yeah. So again, we have a quotient. So we have a top and a bottom. What should we put on top? So 5 less than a number, very tricky, less than, is a turnaround phrase. So how should we write that? X minus 5, very tricky, X minus 5. So the quotient of 5 less than a number, so X minus 5 and 6 is negative 4. So X minus 5 over 6 equals negative 4. How do you get rid of the divide by 6? Times by 6. Times by 6 on both sides to clean that up. All right, last one, ladies and gentlemen. I will solve this one with you. A number squared. What's our number squared? X to the power of 2. X squared. Very good. Increased by 5. What's increased by? Plus, yes. Plus 5 is 41. Let's solve this one together because it's been a little while. X squared plus 5 equals 41. What should we do first? Minus 5. Beautiful. So we get x squared equals 36. With the weird thing, with the root. Yeah, so a square root. We're going to take a square root of both sides. How many answers do you get? 2. Don't forget the plus or minus. Anytime you put on a square root, we get 2 answers. What's the square root of 36? 6. 6 times 6 gives me 36. We just want one of those 6s. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. Do you have questions for me? No? All right. Super. Good job. Thank you. No, it's a worksheet, actually.